Hi, I'm back. We just had a conversation about things that I probably should have saved the video, but I didn't. So that was dumb, but here we are. Do I have sound again? Are we back? Has sound returned? Give me a thumbs up, high five, some hearts, something to validate before I get into the flow of conversation again. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes. No. Yes. Perfect. So I talk a lot about trusting things coming with flow and ease. What I've learned is like what's for me externally is for me. What's for me externally is for me. Like what is meant for me, I don't have to fight. And very clearly noticing when there's external resistance presenting itself. So I was talking to somebody from Reiki Retreat the other day, and they were talking about how they'd been trying to get into school for accounting, that they're already a bookkeeper at work, and they were like putting in a lot of effort and energy to get into, where'd my sunglasses go? Putting in a lot of effort and energy to get into an accounting program. And that on the way to their first accounting class, they were in a car wreck and their car was totaled. They explained to me about how in the sign-up process for school, like their computer crashed, they had to buy a new computer, just like all of this resistance was happening. Then they actually signed up for the class. And then, guys, I'm just trying to find my tripod. My children take my tripod. Admittedly, I leave my tripod places, but my children also take my tripod. How just all these things coming up, right? And just like fighting and struggling, like, I'm going to make this work. I want this. I'm going to make this work. And I was laughing because it reminds me of my engagement with my ex-fiance. And it's going to get too hot out here, because the sun is shining and you guys are now in the sun. Damn it. Speaking of resistance, why is this so hard? Oh, here we go. I can sit in my nice chair. I don't know how to get my chair off. Damn it. Guys, why is this so hard? Look at me teaching this lesson. Let me sit in the least interesting space in my entire house. Are you ready for it? Least interesting space in my entire house. So when I was engaged to my ex-fiance, I was going to get our stuff for our invites for our wedding. And, I go to pick up, it's me, so I'm extra as fuck. And so the invites had like all these pieces to them, right? Like a picture and an invite, and then there was a leaf, and on the leaf was a printing for the registry, for the gift registry, like it was a whole thing. And I'm in the car, and I was pretty new to like law of attraction, pretty new to like manifestation, pretty new to like creating your own reality. And I had seen The Secret, and I think I'd read Energy Squared, and read The Power. All of those are very like, The Secret is really great, very valuable. I started with The Secret, but it's kind of like the coloring book of law of attraction and manifestation. And it's just like, if you get in the vibe, you know, and if you're just grateful and if you just visualize it, then it will come. If that shit is not in alignment, it doesn't matter how much you want it. If that shit is not in alignment for your greatest good, it doesn't matter how much you want it. Everything will get in the way. Everything will get in the way. Doesn't matter if you want it. If that shit is not in alignment of your highest good. So I'm just in the vibe of like, I'm being really grateful. I'm really positive, and I'm going to pick up these invites for me and my ex-fiance. And I get the printing place and the stamp printing place. The stamp was printed backwards. Like the words were backwards. And they were like, we are so embarrassed. I have no idea how this happened. Like, we're going to rush order put a new one together for you. Like, come back and pick it up. Like, I have no idea how this happened. Like, okay. And they gave me a big discount because she was like horrified that like, how does this even happen? Right. So I leave from there and I go to pick up the printing for something else, and we letterpress printed. And this like 1800s letterpress was having issues, right? That like, it's not like there's anywhere else you could go. It was like an old school legit letterpress, was having issues. And they're like, it'll be fine. We'll get stuff together. It's just, going to be another day or two. Okay. Then I go and I'm just like, okay. And that feeling inside of my body, every time one of these resistance thing is happening, is that voice inside of me is like, this isn't meant for you. It's not meant to be this hard. Right? But I'm like, no, I'm just being fucking grateful. I'll be fine. I literally put on like my leather fingerless gloves and I'm like Terminator status out in the world that's trying to take shit away from me. And it's just live. You can come in. You can say hi. I'm not with a client. And then I go to pick up my pictures for the invites and get to Sam's Club, and they had 2 big printers, and went, and they had 2 big printers. The first printer, middle of printing our pictures, stops working. Just like gets jammed. It's not working. They're like, I don't know what's wrong. It's fine. We'll transfer it to the other printer. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, could anything else be a problem? Like, driving to pick things up, there'd been a wreck. Like, it was fucking everything, right? And I'm sitting there and they transfer my pictures to the other printer. No exaggeration. The printer lights on fire. On fucking fire. There are flames coming out of this printer at Sam's Club, and they're like, call the fire department because it's on fire. And I'm just sitting on the ground, just like crying, just like taking blame on myself. Like, I'm not positive enough. I haven't cleared enough of my limiting beliefs. I want this. I know I want to be married. I know I blah, 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 right? I leave there, go and get things printed at Walgreens. There's also a point where the universe will kind of like, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, whatever. Like, we can only make it clear to you so many ways, right? Like, live your best life. So I go and get things printed at Walgreens, go and sit down with like my future mother-in-law and my mom and my fiance to like put these wedding invites together. And it's just a fucking train wreck. It's a blazing help dumpster fire train wreck. And just all these things. And eventually, like, things get physically violent. Like, whatever. Like, the relationship doesn't come together. Point being, there are so many times, because that's like a marriage to somebody is a significant, one of the most significant life decisions you'll ever make, right? Like marrying somebody, having children, right? And so, like, I get these really extreme versions. So when it's a less extreme instance in your life, we still get these signals and these signs that it's not meant for us. And it can be so easy to ignore them because we've been taught to struggle and fight and effort and make shit work, right? And what I've learned is that when I'm taking care of my vibration, externally, things will come to me and it'll be so easy. Like Sammy and I going and looking at this office space and being like, well, I want somewhere ideally that's on a corner. I'd love to be able to like somehow get outside. Like just all these things in my head that I'm like, I would love in an office space to be outside. I want something super affordable. A corner office would be really great. Oh, but I've seen some of these offices before. The offices that I've seen weren't big enough. And we go to look at the office. She shows us an office that's like, hey, we know this office isn't very big, so we already were planning on tearing down the wall, so we'll rent these offices to you at the same price. One of them is on the fire escape that I can literally get to the roof through the fire escape off of our window. It's on the corner. It's got 3 windows. And then we tell her that like, oh, okay, like we'll take it. And then after we say we take it, and I'm talking about like wanting different flooring and stuff, they lower the price for us. After we're already like, yeah, we could do that. I'm like, but we do want new floor. Like, what if my husband did the work? Like, they lower the price for us. And Sammy's like, hell yeah, I'm in. Like, that it externally is coming so easy, right? Like, Nick and I reconnecting, and how life in so many ways reorganized itself, that was so easy. When I was flying to see Nick in Miami, Nick and I got together, started talking 2 months after I called off my wedding. We'd known each other for a decade. We started talking 2 months after I called off my wedding, and I was so fucking resistant to it. Like, I wanted nothing to do with it. But it also felt really good. And like, one of the validation things was he bought a ticket for me from Idaho Falls to Miami for Christmas for a couple days after New Year's, and I'm getting there and I'm flying to go see him, and I haven't flown in forever. And as I'm flying to go see him, they upgrade me to first class, to which I like thank him for it. And he's like, yeah, I didn't do that. Like, who gets upgraded to first class is like frequent flyers, right? And like Universal's like cleared all this shit out of the way that like upgraded me to first class, and I hadn't been on a plane in probably over a year. Yeah, the universe is like, oh, here you go. So I share that with you because if something is coming externally really easy for you, the resistance is your own. If there's something you desperately want and externally it's everything in your way, that's not yours. What is meant for you is meant for you is meant for you, will be for you. If you're focusing on your vibration and you're focusing on your healing and you're focusing on handling your shit, because the other space I was in then that I didn't know was a space of spiritual bypassing and toxic positivity. It's a place that we all kind of really come through if you're like fresh in this, if you like start at something like The Secret, right? They're like, I'll just be positive. Healing your vibration. I notice I said healing your vibration, not raising your vibration. Your natural frequency, your natural vibration is unconditional love. Your natural frequency is at over 800 hertz. That's just like where it functions. That's your soul's natural vibrational frequency. And the reason we function in lower frequencies is because of the bullshit and baggage and beliefs and experiences and stories we pick up along the way in our life. And so we don't actually raise our vibration, we heal our vibration. Because in dropping lower vibrational things, our vibration can naturally come up to the place where it naturally wants to be, which is unconditional connection and love. So if you are focusing on healing yourself and you are getting in alignment with the life you want to live, let me clarify that again. You have a clear understanding of the kind of life you want to live, not the kind of life you don't want to live. It is human nature. It is the way that our brain works for us to be able to go, oh, like, perfect example, like post Brian, right? Even how I ended up with my ex-fiance. I'm so sick of dating assholes. Not, I'm so ready to be in a relationship with somebody who's communicative and grounded and clear. I'm so ready to be in a healthy relationship. I'm sick of being in toxic bullshit. Or are you ready for a healthy relationship? Right? I caught myself in this one, and as soon as I shifted it, it shifted in like 2 fucking weeks. It had been, I'm so sick of Nick being gone. I'm so sick of Nick being gone. I'm so sick of us being separated. My ringtone for Nick was, hey there, Delilah. The point in the verse that I'm 1,000 miles away, but girl, tonight you look so pretty. My ringtone for my husband was validating him being gone, right? Or versus when I made the shift to, I get to sleep in bed with Nick every night and I love him being home. I love being fucking annoyed by the fact that he's in my space all the time. That was a vibration really easy for me to hook into. I love being so fucking annoyed by Nick being home all the time. As soon as I made that shift, 2 weeks. So when you have clarity of the kind of life you want to live, right now someone's like, holy shit. Write down the kind of life you want to live, and what will happen is that unless you've consciously looked at it and shifted it, you will see a write-up of what you don't want. It is human nature. It is our brain's chemistry to see what we don't want. That happens on purpose. That's what living consciously is taking what our brain is naturally doing and then consciously choosing to engage and do something differently. Okay? If you are doing that, the things that are for you will come easy. The things that are not will have external resistance to them. The things that are for you will externally come easy and have internal resistance to them. Breathe. What is for you will always fucking be for you. And anything that is meant for you, you don't have to fight and claw for, because then you're going to have to fight and claw to keep it. Ooh, that hit someone hard. Does that make sense? Any questions on this concept I'm explaining? Because we're going to do some tapping on it, because I have a pile of shit in my front driveway and a pile of shit in my backyard that is a literal manifestation of a bunch of physical things in my space that I'm going to go out and work on clearing space for. And I know I need some tapping on clearing space to allow what's mine, for there to be space for what's mine to come in. Questions, comments on any of that? Maybe that's what I'll do for 11/11. November 11th, I'm going to do a workshop. Sammy and I are going to do a workshop together. And maybe we'll do it on like the did a butterfly just fly into my house and fly out? Yes, it did. Whose universal sign is a butterfly? A big orange butterfly, not a monarch, but a big orange butterfly just flew into my house and immediately flew out. And just feel their internal resistance is programming that needs to be healed and rewritten to a truer story. Yep. And it also programming that needs to be healed and rewritten, and stories of sabotage, right? Like I said earlier on the other video. Oh, thank you for bringing that up, Petra, because I want to touch on this because it was in the other video that had to stop because we lost sound. I talked about that I was being like, oh, like this thing with Sammy's not the right thing. But it's been so fucking easy, like stupid easy. Like I said, them being like, oh, here, this was the price, but let's actually lower the price for you. And then they lowered the price again. And then we got a surprise check for the original price of the apartment or of the office before they lowered space. So getting all these fees, all this stuff. But I was being like, well, no, it just doesn't feel like the right thing. But then backing away and being like, clearly the universe is validating me in every single way. Why does it not feel like the right thing? Sammy feels like the right thing. The office space feels like the right thing. Like being in shared space together feels like the right thing. So what's feeling off? What was feeling off was me. What was feeling off was the question I had to say was, okay, what am I afraid of? I'm afraid of actually getting what it is I want. We're not afraid of failure. Anybody who has a bullshit story that says you're afraid of failure, you're not. You're afraid of success. None of us are fucking afraid of failure. You're afraid of success. You're afraid of actually getting what you want and still not feeling like enough. So me going, oh shit, it's me knowing that if Shammy and I are called into this space, it's me knowing that if after over a year of me calling in a space, something's finally coming together, and something's finally coming together so easily, that means other things are coming together so easily. There's a bee inside my house that just came and slammed into the wall. Other things are coming so easily. Oh shit, that means what I actually want is coming here. That freaks me the fuck out. What is my resistance now? The question was, am I somebody capable of holding what it is that I want that's coming? Hi, Christy. And that's where the resistance was. Am I acting in that way? Actually, no, I'm not. I need more consistency in my vibration with how I meet the day. Meaning I have to get up and not just wait for my kids to wake me up and then begin in whatever energy my kids meet me with. I have to wake up and consciously create my vibration through the day better. It means I have to be moving my energy more consistently, meaning I need to get back into a physical fitness practice. It means needing to meditate every day. And there's some things and some circumstances and some experiences and some habits, just like some other shit in my life that need to go out for me to have the bandwidth directed at the place that I need it to catch the things that I actually want to come to me. Externally, it's in alignment. Externally, everything's coming more than fucking easy for me. Oh, you're concerned about money? Here's a surprise check. Oh, you don't want to pay that much? Oh, let's lower the price. Oh, you know what? Let's lower the price again just for fun. Oh, the office space isn't big enough for you? They're going to show you an office space. They want to take the light out. They want to take a wall out, right? External ease, internal resistance is alignment. External resistance, internal desperation is not the fucking thing. Okay? Okay? Okay. Kenzie Joe says, I've been at my preschool teacher job for 6 years and forced out and don't know where to turn. I don't know where my passion is to manifest. How fucking exciting. How exciting. Thank the universe for space for clarity. How exciting. That's also a fucked up capitalist construct that once you leave from something, you have to immediately jump into something else. That's not how we work energetically. That's not how we work spiritually. It's not how we work emotionally. None of this shit works that way except for capitalism. And here's what I will tell you is 2020, the shift as a collective to 5D energy meant the universe got to switch its programming to say, I don't actually give a shit about those bullshit games you little ants are playing. And if you're willing to play the game on universe terms,
You don't have to play the bullshit game so easily. So how incredible. Thank the universe for space for clarity and for space for integration and for space for grieving. For space for grieving. And be open to where you're being guided. The universe does not expect you to leave one job and immediately start another. Because it's frequency, energetically, like none of that shit. It doesn't work that way. Just fucking capitalism does. And the universe is so over capitalism. Late stage capitalism is like, universe is not having it. Okay, I would like to tap. Would you guys like to tap with me? Ooh, how do I get myself under from the financial boulder currently crushing me? Stop saying it's a financial boulder currently crushing you. Damn, but it is. Start being grateful for the ease and abundance of how things are flowing. Start to make decisions that make you feel abundant. Be open to opportunities and energy and things flowing to you a different way. Something that is actually a very low investment throughout my month. So when Nick and I were in like definite financial hardship, when he was home full time for a mental health crisis and I was his full-time caregiver, lots of financial stuff going on. Little ways that I chose to invest in myself to feel good and feel abundant is I started getting into press-on nails. And I would wear press-on nails because it made me feel like I was put together. And they're like $6 to $9 at the grocery store. And they would last me like, 7 to 10 days. And I would go and just like get myself a new set of nails. And it's just like was ways of like trusting of being in the flow. If you're not willing to invest in yourself and tell the universe you're willing to invest in yourself, how can the universe invest in you? Yes. Okay. All right. Let's do some tapping. Everybody get some water. I need to pee real fast. I'm going to come back. You guys are going to get some water, some hydration, and then we're going to come back and tap together. Yes, that's why you've been so fucking fatigued for no reason. It's not for no reason. You're just trying to force yourself into a system and into a way of engaging and living that isn't in alignment with anything. Okay, let me pee. I'll be right back. Okay. Tapping. Who's never tapped with me before? Or if you have tapped with me, send some hearts. Send some hearts for the tappings. Tapping is a self-healing modality where we are willfully moving energy through our energy meridian points to support our body in creating new, healthy, productive, efficient, supportive of healing neural pathways. There's not really a way that you can do tapping wrong. It just is a very normal thing. What we'll do is I will Let's go through the points real fast. So the first point we'll start on is called the karate chop point. We'll tap here. Your option is to either physically tap or you can do pressure if sensory is a challenge for you, if physical sensory stuff challenges you. So we go karate chop point first, then we go crown of the head, points of the eyebrows, temples, cheekbones, above the lip, under the chin, right below the collarbone, middle of the sternum, points of our rib cage, side of our rib cage. You can go here, you can do one side, or you can do this way. I don't have equipment that gets in the way, so it makes that way easier. And then we go inside of our wrist together, and then back to the top of the head. Okay, those are the points. You can either tap or do pressure. You also can do one-handed. You don't have to do double-handed. Or if there's any sort of mobility limitations and say you can't reach this point up here, you can just pick up where you can reach and send some energy, like awareness to that point when we're tapping through that point. Okay? Off-gassing. Off-gassing is very common. I need to pull a plant near me on that note. Off-gassing is very common while tapping. Off-gassing is your body's way of physically processing the energy. So burping, farting, yawning, crying. If your body is salivating, I suggest that you spit the salivation out. All very common ways. Laughing. I have a client who we can tap through some like incredibly traumatic stuff and they just laugh hysterically the entire time. It's gold. It's amazing. And it's just your body's way of moving things. So you'll notice as I'm tapping, I will likely be swaying, and that's just me helping to support my body and moving the energy out. Okay, any questions? The reason that we spit when you are salivating, your body creates an enzyme when it is an active trauma response that curbs hunger and supports adrenaline creation in your body, so that if you're going to run through a saber-toothed tiger, you swallow it and you're not hungry and you can keep going. When I started spitting instead of swallowing, because I found that salivating was a regular thing when I was processing things, I stopped dissociating so frequently. And it's now just become one of the ways that my body is processing energy. And so that's why you see me spit so frequently, either on video or when I'm teaching, even when I'm teaching class. Like I have a thing and I spit and it's disgusting, but it is what it is. Okay? So drink some water if you have not. And we are just going to begin by tapping on the karate chop point. All you're going to do is do what I do and say what I say. There's so much I would like to have in my life right now. So much I've been trying to, wanting to, desperately feel like I need to be manifesting into my life. And I'm at this weird place with my mental health. Aren't we all? And I'm at this weird place in my life where it just seems like a million things are falling out. And because of it, my footing feels unstable. And I'm overwhelmed. And I'm confused. And I'm kind of sad. Ooh, hitting on the grief point. Feeling a lot of grief for everything that's happening. And haven't really understood why or even how some of it is happening. It's been making me feel anxious. It's been making me feel exhausted. It's been making me feel confused. Whoever feels shittier right now, I promise we will get better. You want to feel shitty first, I promise. This is helpful. And it's making me feel unsure about all of it. Even though I've been feeling this way, I love myself unconditionally. If you just hopped on, feel free to jump in with us. I accept myself deeply and completely. I forgive myself relentlessly for all of these feelings. There we go. And I'm ready to write a new story. Shake it out. Hydrate. Oh, top of the head. There's so much I'm trying to call into my life right now. In fact, there's a lot I've been calling in that's showing up right now. It's already here. Yet for some reason, it's not feeling very good. Again, I'm feeling confused and exhausted and unsure. And I don't like feeling this way. Even though I've been feeling this way. Hi, Jessie. I love myself unconditionally. I accept myself deeply and completely. I forgive myself for these feelings. And I'm open to seeing the underlying story. Ooh, here we found it. I'm open to understanding the underlying story behind the ways that I am feeling. And I am open to a new way of feeling and a new way of living. A lot of the things falling out of my life right now, a lot of the things asked to be let go of in my life right now, are things I'd really like to keep. Are things that have overall felt really good for me. The things in my life, I got stuck there. So that means that I've hooked into something. The things in my life that are trying to fall away are things I would like to keep. Because to date, they have felt really good for me. And what I know, what we talked about today, what I reminded myself of, was in order to call in really great things, I have to be willing to let go of something too. We have a finite amount of space. We have a limited amount of bandwidth. And if I'm wanting something new and different, I have to open up new energy and clear broadband for it to fit. I love myself unconditionally. I accept myself deeply and completely. I forgive myself for the story that I have to struggle and fight to keep what's mine. And I'm choosing to accept things flowing to me externally with ease, being the right direction for my healing. I am open to the new things wanting to flow this way, and I'm willing to release to create space. I accept myself And I'm open. If you're just jumping on, you can jump in. I'm willing to experience the feelings that come with losing. All loss is trauma. And all loss, even if it's something I didn't want anymore, comes with grief. And grief often feels overwhelming and exhausting. Oh, look at that fucking light bulb. Part of why I've been feeling so overwhelmed and exhausted is because I am grieving an old version of my reality. I am grieving an old version of me. Of who I thought I was, of what I thought I wanted, of how I thought the world worked, and of everything that is currently releasing. I am open to feeling my feelings, knowing that feelings are just energy. And in moving energy, I am creating space for new flow. Holy shit. And vitality. That feels good. And releasing old things, even if I really like them, even if they've been really good, I'm ready and willing to release what's asking to leave so that I may experience new flow and vitality. I love myself unconditionally. I accept myself deeply and completely for living a human reality and for a natural progression of creating how I want to be living. We don't play toxic positivity bullshit here. No spiritual bypassing in this space. We're here to do things full spectrum. To live all the way in. Because when you compartmentalize and numb the bad, you do the same with the good. I love myself. I'm so excited for what's coming. What's been released is some big shit. Which means greatness is coming. The universe doesn't trade down. Only I do. I've decided I am worthy and deserving of living the kind of life that I want. So I'm not trading down anymore either. I love myself. I accept myself. Things are flowing to me in a way that feels so fucking good. I'm going to ask the universe to send me bees, bumblebees, as validation, guidance, and suggestions for my highest aligning. I am so grateful. You can hop in whenever. For the universe bringing me signs of bees as validation, suggestions, and guidance towards my highest aligning. I love myself. I accept myself. I choose to feel my feelings because feelings is just moving energy. I am safe. I am supported. I am free. If you've got a different sign, fill in your space for the different sign. Whoo, stretch it out, move. Okay, we're gonna hop in and do one more. Ready? Back at the top of the head. Clearing space feels so fucking good. It feels like a breath of fresh air to let go of what I don't need, to release what I don't want, to know if it's not for me anymore, that I want that space back. Clearing space feels so fucking good. When I let go of what's good, I make room for what's great. And I want greatness, baby. I love myself. I love having space to breathe. I love having room for new creative thinking. I love having empty shelf space. Oh shit. Clearing space feels so fucking good. Even though the process is a little uncomfortable, the experience of life on the other side, ooh, yes, please. I love clearing space. I feel energized by clearing space. I feel inspired by clearing space. I feel motivated to clear space. Physical space, emotional space, energetic space, with things, clearing space with habits and beliefs, clearing space with people, clearing space with places and jobs and connections. I'm just clearing all the space that's asking to be cleared so that what I want has room to grow. So that what I want has room to flow. So that what I want, that I may not even know that I want, universe, bring to me under all the stories the highest of lining of what I actually want. And I'll just create space to catch it. I trust you to guide to me, that you know me beautifully. I'm just creating space to catch it. So it is. Amen. Shake it out. Ooh, that was real nice. That was real nice. Okay. Thank you for tapping. Okay. Questions, comments, concerned human. Before I go to clear literal space of a pile of shit in my backyard. Hi, human. Hi. This tapping will go up on IG Live. It'll also be up on YouTube. Thanks for hanging out with me to keep me in the flow. It's honestly much easier for me to tap and do the thing if I'm not by myself doing it and I'm with you guys. Yeah. And just thanks for rooting me on and all of the things. I love you. I'm proud of you. If you would like to share in my DMs what it is you're letting go of releasing, I'm also going to do a post today that you could share there. Getting me back in that algorithm right now is a big deal because I'm after some sponsored stuff. And so the algorithm and things are important. I love you. I'm so glad you're here. If you are not signed up for 11/11 and you would like to be, go get on the fall wait list. There are other big offers that I'm working out that will be open and available very shortly. So if you're interested in those, you can also go and sign up for Mothership Transmissions, and you guys will be the first to get info on that. So I love you. Have an absolutely beautiful day. Drink a shit ton of water and share this space with your friends. You matter. You're worthy. I love you. I'm so proud of you.